At a Fox 59 investigation, a significant number of those accused of killing people in Indianapolis this year, guess what? They're on pretrial or post-conviction release.
Among those who've been killed this year, a quarter of those victims were either serving post-conviction sentences or awaiting trial. And as more people are being killed in the city than any other time in history, we're examining what has to change to keep people safe and alive.
Fox 59's Courtney Crown taking a deeper look at the documents here and what those documents are revealing. And now she's showing us what she just discovered. Courtney?
More than 40% of the people arrested in the homicides in 2021 were on either pretrial release or post-conviction sentencing. At the core of these issues is holding people accountable while also protecting the constitutional rights of the accused. One thing is clear, these are complex issues. Indianapolis struggles to stop the bleeding as the city suffers through a historic public safety crisis.
It's been very hard.
Felicia Myers' cousin Christy Holt was brutally murdered, and Christy's ex-boyfriend is the suspect.
Christy was like my sister, and she was just taken, way too soon. It could have been prevented.
Charged with stabbing a random person, Marcus Garvin was bailed out of jail in January by the Bail Project. After a judge lowered his bond over state objection, 7 months later, he was accused of stabbing Christy to death.
Oh my God. People have been dying at the hands of these judges. They're not looking at everything.
Marcus Garvin is one of at least 15 people accused of killing someone while awaiting trial this year. We found 4 more people were accused of killing while serving their post-conviction sentences. Combined, this is 43% of all homicide arrests this year.
We hear all the time about the second chances, but what does it mean to the families?
Second chances are great, but violent offenders, I feel like they should at the very least be in there until their case is concluded.
Dozens of people were killed this year as they awaited trial or served their sentences outside of jail. Our investigation found more than 25% of people killed in homicides were on either pretrial or post-conviction release.
People will often say in the community, the system is broken.
It's disheartening. I think that the system has become, IMPD, the prosecutor, and the court. But I don't think that's the system.
We asked judges how they make decisions about release in Marion County.
In every case, we're going to receive a criminal history. In most cases, we're going to receive what's called a pretrial services report, which is one of our pretrial agents talks to them, gets some background information, but it's pretty limited in terms of what you get.
IUPUI criminal justice professor Thomas Stuckey explains judges would need extensive background information when setting bond or sentencing to know who is likely to kill or be killed shortly after release.
They are really specific around the idea of either an imminent threat to public safety that's quantifiable, and those folks do stay locked up, or someone who's a serious flight risk.
Plus, the Constitution lays out the rights of the accused.
We have a Fifth Amendment right to due process, and part of that right is a presumption of innocence.
This is what they call steel bins right here.
Norman Ford works at Recycle Force after spending 33 years in prison. He says without help, more violence is likely.
If they see all the time crime around them, people not say if you don't have any kind of leaders in the community and they don't see that, so they kind of emulate what they see around them.
Ford says the future is bleak for people leaving incarceration without a support system and reentry services.
Nobody want to help them, so that's going to lead them to, well, I don't care, I'm going to go ahead and do what I want to do, hurt people or whatever it takes for me to survive.
Judges tell us their goals are always geared toward rehabilitation, but the body count of victims killed while on release and suspects accused of killing people show changes are necessary.
No matter how they got there, we got to try to change that mindset, or it's just going to continue and continue.
The numbers in this report do not account for the juvenile victims and suspects in 2021. We have requested more information from the juvenile justice system and will update that information in a future report. The city of Indianapolis is pouring more money than ever into crime prevention and intervention efforts, and we will keep a close eye on the outcomes of that funding. Reporting in the newsroom, Courtney Crown, Fox 59 Investigates.
Courtney, thank you. The facts, well, they are definitely eye-opening and revealing, and there is a lot of work that has to be done. We have been investigating early release in Marion County for years now and the impact that it has on our city and really on all of us. You can see more of our investigation at fox59.com, including more from our interview with the judge you just saw in this story. Get Courtney's story sent right to your phone by texting CRIMES to the number on your screen.